Hi, it's Carolyn, the contest queen. And today we're going to talk about how to get back into the sweep of things because it is the end of August. Depending on where you live, your kids might already be back at school. If not, you're wrapping up end of summer and you've got a busy few weeks ahead because usually the beginning of September is extremely busy. Even if you don't have children heading back to school, you might be going back to school, you might be taking courses, work might be ramping up, and you might have had a lazy summer. So how do you get back into that sweepstakes habit? Because I was away for 3 weeks. Now, in there, I went to the annual National Sweepstakes Convention, but I also did some Words for Winning work. So it was a real combination of Words for Winning and the Contest Queen. So the first stop was visiting some sweepstakers on my way to visit Melissa, who is Helene Hatzel's granddaughter. I spent a few days with her. Then I headed over to Little Rock, attended the convention. Once the convention was over, I drove down to Texas to spend some time with Dyke and Fiona Hatzel. George, my boyfriend, actually flew down to Dallas, and we got to do the last leg of the trip together when we went to visit friends that I knew from Words for Winning in near Nashville. Then we headed back to the sweepstakers in Indiana, and we were home. And it took me a whole week to catch up between laundry and housework and the amount of things that I got. Behind this screen is a pile of prizes that came in while I was away, including one I wasn't expecting. So I'll be making a big unboxing video, but I haven't even had time to do that. But I have had time to get back into the sweep of things because that was my priority. I can open what I just received anytime, but the clock is ticking on current giveaways, and some finished while I was away. There was one I was entering. It was 3 instant prizes per person. So I was entering for my friends and my family. And I still had codes. I still had PIN codes. And it ended. I had it in my head because of all the busyness that it ended on the 31st. And it was the 11th. And then we had a barbecue for my Toastmasters group. So I went and bought the burgers and the hot dogs. I went and bought the buns that still had the contest on them. And I got home only to realize that it had ended while I was away. And George just laughed at me. And my number one tip is to always read the rules so you stay on top of this. But I had so many balls in the air. I dropped a few. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We needed the buns for the barbecue. We had to eat the hamburgers and the hot dogs on something. But, you know, I missed I dropped the ball on that one for the contest entry. Now, if you have any sweepstakes questions this month, I'm guessing because either people are on vacation or like me, they're super busy. I didn't get any questions in advance for this particular live stream. But if you have any questions regarding sweepstakes contests and giveaways, post them in the comments and I will answer them. So let's see. This one didn't click in. I went to check on Instagram and it had not clicked in. So it's doing that now. So again, if you have any questions, post them in the chat. Now, so let's talk about what you need to do to get back into the sweep of things. And I taught my monthly sweepstakes masterclass last week. So only a few days after I got back. And I have to say, I was a little bit embarrassed because when I teach, I show people my sweepstakes system as part, because generally there's always a question about RoboForm in there. And that's how I like to enter my sweepstakes. Other people have other organizational systems. Some people use browsers. Some people use a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter what you like to use as long as you're organized. That's the key. And so I was showing some people my RoboForm, but because I'd been so busy and I hadn't been filling the funnel with all the latest giveaways, my lists were extremely small and mighty thin. And so the idea is to go through. So the first thing you want to do is go through your organization system, however you have it, and remove anything that's expired. Okay, that's number one. Remove anything that's expired. And so then what you have is what is current, and then you can start adding in. Now, remember, when you are entering from your sweepstakes system, always, always, always enter what you have in your system first before adding anything new. Because if I got overly excited and went and entered, a bunch of new giveaways and added them to my system, and then I came back to enter my dailies, how would I remember? I might have a good memory. I might be able to remember when I entered and when I didn't. But that's the reason I organize things, so I don't have to remember. And I would probably make a mistake and I might disqualify myself. So what you want to do is always do your dailies first and then go in and add anything new. So just remember that while you're getting back into the sweep of things. Now, seasoned sweepers might already know this, but I'm talking to everybody because look at this. We have a newcomer to the group. Hello, Linda. We have a new sweeper. So, I try to accommodate all kinds. And sometimes when you're a seasoned sweeper, you want to try something new. And if you're changing systems or updating systems, like you might have been using spreadsheets and you want to switch to RoboForm, if you're doing that, it's the same principle. You always want to enter your dailies first before adding anything new. Now, Linda wants to know, how many contests are you entering at any given time? The average sweeper will enter about 100 giveaways an hour. And that's why it's key to be organized. So that's kind of a target because a lot of people use, like, for example, I'm not sure what Christy from Sweep Sheep uses, but I know Tom Cavalli likes to use a buy-win contest, likes to use a spreadsheet, and he fills his forms with RoboForm. I like to organize in RoboForm. Now, I don't have anywhere near 100 right now because, again, I'm still catching up from being away, and I tried to enter as often as I could while I was gone, but I also like to focus on being in the moment. And there were some opportunities I had that, I wanted to be present for, not looking at my phone, not entering giveaways. And then when I came back to the hotel at night or back to a friend's house, well, if you're at friends, you don't want to just be rude and say, excuse me, I've got to go enter my giveaways. You sit and pay attention and you talk and you go to bed. You don't enter anything. And then a lot of times I'd come back to the hotel and I'd have to get work done. So for example, when I was in Texas, Dyke had given me a photo album of Helene's. And so I sat in the hotel room scanning because I had taken a printer with me, hoping I was going to get some pictures to do just that. Kathy has good advice. She likes to use the Google bulk URL opener. That's pretty good. Yeah, RoboForm I started using RoboForm because when I started using RoboForm way back in the day, 22 years ago, the browsers didn't have the bulk opening feature and RoboForm did. So that was one of the big advantages to RoboForm at the time. And also a now defunct website, online-sweepstakes, also had something, I think they called it Shazam. And it would bulk open all your giveaways that you put into your system. Since then, obviously, the browsers have caught up. So you can use your browser and have the bulk openings. Same as I like to do in RoboForm. So again, technology is always changing and updating, and use that to your advantage. So if you prefer to use a browser system, now you have the advantage of bulk opening those URLs at the same time. And I was just checking to see if anybody had a comment on Instagram. So the first thing you need to do is clear out anything from the past and then go and enter all your dailies. Now, I find this sometimes when I haven't entered consistently for, especially like the summer, for almost a month, I feel like frustrated because I'm like, oh, I'm missing this one. I'm missing that one. You can't think of that. Sweepstakes have been around since the early 1900s. So because I have marketing books dating back to the 1930s talking about sweepstakes as giveaways, like in the 1900, not the 1900s, well, like 25 years ago, but 125 years ago. And this hobby isn't going anywhere, and it's just exponentially getting bigger. Hold on. It's just exponentially getting bigger. So there's always going to be a sweepstakes you're going to miss. There's so many giveaways at any given time. It's physically impossible to enter them all. So what you got to do is you got to go and pick and choose. So go to your favorite aggregate. This is going to save you hours. So the first thing I do is check my weeklies, which is all my local media, right? All my local media, all the giveaways around me. My odds of winning tend to be bigger. And the reason you want to prep, especially this week, is a lot of radio stations have started to ramp up their promotions. Some have started this week. A lot are starting next week after Labor Day. I've seen a lot of announcements. Hey, register for this giveaway. We're starting to announce names September 2nd. I've seen a lot of that already. And then, of course, there's usually a huge fall lineup of concerts if you live near a major city. I live near Toronto, so we have heaps of contests. Like last week and this week, because I think they're still playing again, Oasis. Everybody was trying to win tickets to go see Oasis, that kind of a thing. So there's always ticket giveaways going on. So you want to go and enter all your locals. Then you want to go to your favorite sweepstakes aggregate and just start with what's been recently posted and work your way back. Because at least you're going to start to fill your funnel and get into the giveaways that have the most potential. The other thing you can do is you could dedicate a day to just going through the single entry sweepstakes and going back through the list and seeing how many you can catch up on, because those are one and dones. Okay. So one strategy is to first go through all your locals, get all your local entries in. Then you can go to your one and dones and then go start what's been recently added and work your way back. And if you miss some, you miss some. You weren't meant to win it. And there's always another giveaway. Those are the things that you want to do to start to get caught up. Now, when should you be entering these giveaways? Whenever you have time. I'm a morning person. I get up at 5:15 and I go code hunting. I've got a pin code hunting 101 video on YouTube. You can go watch that. And it explains step by step what I'm looking for. Of course, I don't have any codes on my desk because I entered them all. And then once I entered them, I put them in a bag to keep in case I win and they need the number to prove that I had it. So I go looking for pin codes and I always enter my instant wins first thing. And I've been doing pretty good on some of those. I did a little video on what I won in July, and all I can say is for NW, I won a lot of root beer. And I kept saying, just send me the coupon, send me the coupon. This morning, I finally thought, this is ridiculous. I'm going to download the app. So I put the app on my phone. So I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'll win another root beer and I'll just send it to my app. Because let's face it, who doesn't like free root beer? So again, if you have any questions about sweepstakes contests and giveaways, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them as I go along. So I get up early, and then when I get back, George and I have coffee while we do Wordle, and then I shower and get on with my day. And then depending on the time, I enter a little bit all day. Like there's radio giveaways. So I'll be texting in keywords all day long, and I will be entering some codes. So for example, we still have the Pepsi one running here in Canada, and it's 5 codes per person per day. So throughout the day, I'll enter some codes for me and some for George to maximize our potential of winning the $10,000 giveaway. The July wins video is on YouTube. It's all under shorts. So it's I did it as a short, a reel, and a TikTok. So you can see my July wins video. I did it while I was on the road. I had to film it while I was in the hotel in Arkansas. So that was fun to close out the month and see. Now, because I was traveling, my August wins are way down because I wasn't here. I wasn't here and I wasn't focused on it because I was focusing on being with the people that I was with. Now, also for my August, I didn't include, in the past I included it, but this year I chose not to. I didn't include anything I won at the sweepstakes convention because I paid to go to the sweepstakes convention. So should I have? Maybe I'll make a side note and just track those separately. But I want a creamy, which we have been using already. Oh my gosh, I can see buying whipping cream every time we go to Costco now. Just saying, it was delicious. I made fresh strawberry ice cream and vanilla ice cream. Because when we went to Mexico, I bought real vanilla. Oh my gosh, the Mexican vanilla is amazing. So we had vanilla ice cream, and that we did a mix-in of some M&Ms that I had around the house because, oh wait, I was buying them for the giveaway we currently have that's receipt-based. So I was using the mix-ins that I was purchasing to enter one giveaway in the prize that I won another. And then, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, I just find it funny. And I won $50 cash, which is in my American wallet. Because I travel to the US, so I kept some every year. I seem to go to the convention. So, I save it and then I don't exchange it. So it'll sit and wait till I go to Phoenix next summer. So I won $50 cash. I won a $25 Subway gift card, which comes handy when you're doing road trips. And what else did I win? I think that was it. Oh, and I won a little sticker printer. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? I got home. Oh, the daughter that I have that is in University for Illustration and Art promptly claimed it. And the booby prize of the bag resealer actually works fantastic. It's on our fridge. Oh, yeah. Cindy said, yum ice cream, vanilla from Nicaragua. My dad always brought it back. Had to use half of what's needed. It's so strong. Yeah, the Mexican is the same. It is so good. Yeah, so what did I win? Yeah, the big thing was the creamy, which you can see a picture of me in the videos on TikTok Reels and Shorts. And I haven't had time yet to blog it. I have outlined the blogs for the convention, but I haven't finished writing them. What I did do when I got back that I felt was a priority was get up all the pictures and the articles that I got from the Hadsels and posted them to the Words for Winning site. So actually I have a whole new section because one of the things I always get asked is, do you have proof that Helene Hadsel won anything else other than her house? And I had to say no, because I didn't have anything. We looked for her journals. I asked Dyke. Every time I go, I ask, where is anybody seen the journals? Nobody's seen the journals. We don't know what happened to them. She might have burned them before she died. We don't know. Somebody else in the family might have taken them. Even Dyke said, they're spiral bound. No, we can't find anything. So we don't know where they went or what happened to them. But there was a bunch of articles of her and her family winning different prizes that I scanned as JPEGs and then saved as PDFs. So if you go to Words for Winning and click on her name and go to in the news, you can see and read those articles that I scanned. So you can see the picture, and if you click on it, you can actually get the PDF and read it. It's so cool to see proof. Plus, I got more slides. So we'll be going through about 1,000 slides to see if there's any more pictures that I need scanned. And I have 2 more audio tapes like I got here. And so I feel like I won the jackpot when I got all those pictures, because the other thing that I got was new, never before published pictures of the Formica house grand opening, like the publicity photos that were taken by Formica when they had an open house with Helene and Pat and the kids. Oh my God, so cool. So there's some that I've seen online that are very low res, and I included them on the website. They appear to have been out of the similar book or preserved in a similar way, but I had these ones and I scanned them as high res as I could. So go and enjoy some brand new Formica pictures to show that Helene actually did in fact win a fully furnished home. I just love that. So I'll be blogging about that too. So yeah, she really was a huge winner in her lifetime. But the article showed that she won things like a mattress, a local baking contest. Her daughter won a contest. Her son won the if you read the Name It and Claim It game, you know that it was her son that actually won the tickets to New York to go to the World's Fair that they stopped at on their way to Paris for her 40th birthday. And that there's a little article. So that is further proof that they went. Now I'm hoping in those slides I find some World's Fair photos, because there weren't any in the last 2 batches of slides I got. So fingers crossed, because I found the box that said 1964 World's Fair. No slides in it. So I'm hoping they're in the next batch of slides. And actually, I did pinch a mug from Helene's cupboard. How can I not? So she, I believe, would have drank from this, and so am I. It makes me feel like a little bit closer to it. Let me see if there's any comments on Instagram, if anybody has any questions about the sweepstakes. Okay, so back to getting back into the swing of things. Again, if you feel overwhelmed, just go at your own pace. So pick a time of day that you're comfortable. Like I said, I'm a morning person. And the other time that I do like to enter sweepstakes is in the evening. Not obviously tonight, because I'm here with all of you. But if I wasn't doing this, I'd be sitting in the living room with George. We'd put on a show. And I have this fabulous little laptop table that he bought me. And I should see if it's on Amazon and share it with everybody, because it's fantastic, and say, this is what he bought me. It'll make a great gift for any sweeper you know. So I sit, and where I sit, I have a chaise. So my legs are sticking out. I have my little cup of tea. If it's in the winter, I got a blanket on me. And I enter sweepstakes. And what's great about this table is it's designed for a laptop. So it's got a bumper so the laptop doesn't slide towards you, and a soft bumper so the mouse doesn't fall off, but it's also easy on your wrist. It is so good. I think he got it at the Made As Seen on TV store. It's funny, what gifts sometimes really make people happy. So, of course, for a sweeper, that is the perfect gift, something we can sit in sweepstakes. So it'll be great, because I'll sit there and I'll be entering and doing my little thing. And then I'll start doing the new ones that I find. And I'll say to him, hey, there's tickets for this. Did you want to go? He's like, sure, enter that one. Or I don't think so. Because I know sometimes if I don't ask, we won tickets to go see a band I thought he liked. It turned out he didn't. And we won tickets. So he didn't want to go. And it was short notice. So I just quickly messaged this sponsor back and said, I'm terribly sorry, but our schedules have changed and we can't attend. Please draw another name. Also, that is good juju if you ever find yourself in a position where, you know, you can't go. Just don't ghost anybody, because the marketers are trying to give away their prizes, and they're people too. So if you just let them know kindly, they can get on with their job and draw another name and fill that spot. Because if you leave it and you have so many days and then they have to draw another name and then there's so many days, it might never get fulfilled, and somebody could have won it that would have enjoyed it when you can't go. So make sure you always respond to the sponsor. Now, is there any questions? I don't see any questions, but yeah. So I haven't quite got back into the swing of things. So for me so far, I've been back to the pin cone hunting. I'm back to the radio giveaways. I've cleaned out my RoboForm, so it's as fresh as it can be. And the next step for me to catching up is to get into the single entries and go through as many of those as I can, and then start in on the dailies. So those are the different things that I'm going to be doing to catch up after I've had the summer away. Now, some of you have been able to keep up the entire summer, and good for you, because then this video isn't really applicable. You've been able to keep up the whole time. The prizes are coming in, and you don't have to worry about that. But there's always times in somebody's life that this happens. The other season this really happens, ironically, is December, because sweepstakes season it used to start December 1st, and then it started backing up to Thanksgiving. And now I've seen some companies run them from like mid-November, or even slightly earlier, to get the jump on other companies to do their 12 days of giveaways before Black Friday. And then they just host their regular stuff. But the irony of sweepstakes season, and every company that you can think of is hosting a giveaway in December, which exponentially increases your sweepstakes time. It's also the time you're busiest with errands, friends, family, events, gatherings, get-togethers, you name it. It's all kind of done this big blossom. And so a lot of times the daily sweepstakes sometimes falls by the wayside, and you don't get to get a breather until after Christmas or even New Year's, depending on, and sometimes your job may increase during that time too. I only started in July, and of course I'm curious about when I might win a contest. I've entered about 100. Any ideas? Well, this is the irony of sweepstakes. You could win right now. You might go to a giveaway that has an instant win component, enter it, and have a prize right now. Like right now. Let me see, because there's so some of them I enter me and I enter George. Of course, I did mine at 5:15 this morning. But I didn't enter George yet. So let me see if I can do him on this one. Let's do one. I've pulled out my phone. Love my sticker. I put my own merch on my phone. It also reminds me that I am lucky. And for some reason, I'm hoping that it puts the lucky juju into the phone. I don't know why. I mean, I do have a bowl of crystals. This one I got this in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And the other thing that I did get at the convention that's sitting on my desk, we all got little lucky potatoes. It said, lucky potato. I was made to bring luck and cheer to whoever owns me. I got a tater tot. Some people got bigger ones. Beverly, who we visited, she had one. He looked French. I called him frite. So anyway, so I have that. I have my lucky stones. So we have to go to, let's see, let me go to click on the main. Oh, I have to log in. See, that's the problem. I haven't logged in so long for his that it just it logged me out. So let me just okay, kick in anytime. Why is it not recognizing the email? You know how it usually has the auto type? Okay, it's going to make me type it out in full. That's what happens when you don't do it for a long time. And oh my gosh, this font is microscopic. So let's see. And then, okay. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, this has got an instant win component. Okay, so this is going to say, click here to see if you're a winner. So also, this is Canadian. I'm Canadian. So if you're in the United States, you can't enter this. Unfortunately, you did not win an instant prize today. Oh, well. We could have, though. We don't know that. And we're in to win a grand prize. So I might win that. Let me see if there's any more. Do I have others listed? Oh, the other one is Circle K is one of them. Where's the Circle K? Circle K games. Okay, so we've got rock, paper prizes going on right now. And oh my gosh, see, this is terrible. This is sweet catching up with the sweepstakes because I haven't entered them in so long. That didn't like that. No. And now it wants my postal code. Okay, so we got that in there. I accept the contest rules. Number one tip, always read the rules. I didn't actually read them because we're on the air. Uh-oh, it's going to send him a text. He's going to wonder what I'm doing because he knows I'm live streaming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him, send me the code. Because he's in the living room. Send me the code. This is what living with a sweepstaker is like. Last year at the sweepstakes convention, Tom Cavalli came up to do a speech on the other side of sweepstakes. And I was so excited to listen to his speech because I thought he was going to talk about it from like the marketer's perspective. And maybe he interviewed a bunch of agencies and had some inside scoops. No, he started talking. And then his wife, who was attending Lee, she came up to talk because she was talking about what it was like to be married to a sweepstaker and the antics that occurred being married to a sweeper. This is basically one of them. So let's see. Did he give me the code yet? Oh, he sent an attachment. What did he do? No, he sends me another gift. He sent me a giveaway that I hadn't entered yet. See, now that's the other thing when you are married to or dating a sweeper. At first, they might poo-poo. Okay, here we go. 3730. Okay. That is hilarious. Let's go. Okay, here we go. So we're going to play. And so the other way to find these instants is, and the other way to find instants is when you go to your favorite sweepstakes aggregate, they may have an instant win section. Oh, I didn't win this one, but you can play 3 times a day. So we'll play again. The little guy is so funny. They've really animated these well this time. Oh, he's back. Let's do okay. Okay, I got one. Let's do another one. Let's see if I win something. Nope, that's terrible. So my strategy is I always go opposite what they did. So we'll do paper. No, I'm not winning this time. Okay, usually it's the third time is a charm. I haven't done this where I haven't won something. Click the candy. Where's the candy? I didn't see the candy. Oh, it is the candy. I didn't see it. Sometimes you can get the candy. Thanks for spotting that, Christopher. I didn't even see it. I'm too busy live streaming and looking at all the. So this is buy one, get one. So I kind of don't consider that a prize, but on mine, like I did this. Oh, I did this for him the other day. I wonder why I'd asked for code. We did get free chocolate, so I need to go in and get that. So you can win instantly. And then, of course, you're in for the big prizes. So one of the keys to winning, like right now, is you go to your sweepstakes aggregate and you search on the word instant. And then you can enter all the ones that have an instant win component, and you can win something right now, and then you're in for a grand prize. So sometimes you also win the wonky prizes. Like this morning, I won a bottle opener, and they have tons of other prizes. Do you think I'd win the fridge or the really nice laptop bag or the duffel? No, I won the bottle opener because there's also way more of those. Yeah, Christopher said, click the candy. So sometimes they have that where they do it, but still, you don't always have the candy to click. And those contests are run in Canada and the US. Like there's two different Circle K companies. And so sometimes the contests run concurrently and sometimes they don't. I don't understand why. Just like the Bottle Lotto in the United States for Pepsi started about a month earlier than it did in Canada, maybe 6 weeks. And theirs has already ended and ours goes for another 5-6 weeks. And it's the same agency running it. So I don't know why they didn't start at the same time or why the American one started first. Prizes are a little different. The coding's a little different. So I don't know if that was to do it. The fridge was Sapporo. Was that one. There's lots. The other thing to do is to go and click on the word code or pin in your aggregate, and you'll see which ones require a code of some kind to enter or a pin, which can be found on specially marked products. Again, you can go to my pin code hunting 101 video to see how I find extra codes, because I can't drink that much product or eat that much product because it's not healthy. I do always support the sponsor. I do go and purchase some coded product because I think it's only right to support the sponsor. That's my opinion. It's not a rule. It's just my personal feeling. Being a marketer and an entrepreneur, I do like to support other businesses. But I want to enter way more than I can drink soda. So, and of course, tonight I'm drinking tea because I'm not going to drink that much caffeine in the evening. The amount of caffeine in the tea, I can just sleep. That much soda in the evening, not so much. Maybe it's also the sugar. Who knows? Okay, let me see if we have any questions here. Okay. Carlos wants to know, is there ever going to be a movie about Helene Hatzel? I sure hope so. If you know somebody in the movie industry, pitch the idea. Let me know. I'll be happy to send them some books. Rahela asked, do you have a preference between single entry or daily entry? It depends on the amount of time I have. I do have to admit I like one and dones because I'm so busy that the dailies sometimes get away from me, especially when I was traveling. So getting in some single entries really felt good because I felt like I could still win some stuff, even though I don't have the same amount of time to enter. But a lot of the biggest prizes are dailies. So I think you have to focus more on what do you want to win versus how the entry mechanisms are. Does that make sense? And Ella says more luck winning single entries versus the dailies. It's a toss-up. Right now, this summer, I'm doing very well with the pin code contest. That's why if you go and watch that short reel or TikTok on my July wins, you'll see my spreadsheet. You can get a copy of that spreadsheet. We are working on the update of Contest Queen, but in the meantime, it's in an awkward spot. You have to click on 5 steps to begin winning and go to the bottom of step 1, and you can download that spreadsheet. That's something that's going to be probably moving further forward in the new site layout. But I get people to track, who won it, because I'm entering for other people in the family. So whose name was picked, the date they won it. And that's important because sometimes prizes take, you get a winning announcement and then it might be 6 to 8 weeks, maybe a little longer. I've had companies say 14 weeks before you get your prize. So when you know the date, you know how long. If it started to be a little too long, you can go check, because I do also have a check box. Then I have what I won, who the sponsor was, the value, did I get it yet or not? And then how much it was worth, and where, how I entered, and what it was. So for example, I could say online instant, or Instagram tagging, that kind of thing, or Instagram comment, depends on the giveaway. So then I can look at the spreadsheet and go, oh, I'm really killing it on the Instagram giveaways. I better up my time on Instagram. Or I haven't won Instagram all year and it's the end of August. So maybe I should either see what I'm doing wrong with Instagram, maybe drop Instagram for a while and focus on other giveaways or whatever. So it gives you kind of a snapshot of what is successful for you. So that's really kind of handy to have that. So both you and your husband are sweepers. Yes and no. When I was married, when I first started doing this, Craig, he thought I was wasting my time. And then, little prizes were showing up. And then I won a medium-sized prize pack. And then I won him, because he was a crazy race fan, I won him gold grandstand passes and a lap around the track in a pace car. After that, it was like, are we entering that one? Are you in this? Have you submitted to that one yet? Like, he was on the lookout for giveaways. And they become your biggest fan once you start winning the prizes. And George was the same way when we started dating and I was going out pin code hunting. He's like, are you sure this is a good idea? I'm like, look, I got to exercise, so I might as well get fresh air and possibly win something, because I don't have to pay the gym, because I would freeze my membership for the summer. So I didn't actually this summer, even though I am pin code hunting, because I really like the yoga on the weekends. Because after walking all week, I need the stretch. So I chose to keep it, even though I'm going only about 8 times a month. I still think it's worth it. So then I won a huge trip for a family of 4 to go to Universal Studios. And then again, after that, like you can see, he just texts me, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this giveaway? Or he'll get frustrated and say, when Tim Hortons does the roll up to win on the phone, and he'll do it and he won't win anything, and he gets frustrated and he'll say, this is a scam. And I'll go, says the man who's gone on multiple free trips, been to countless concerts for free, movie passes, prizes always showing up at the door. It's not a scam. But he doesn't enter. He doesn't enter. If I need to do, if it's a text giveaway or something, I'll text me, and then I'll march out to wherever he is. Like if he's in the shop, or if he's in the living room, wherever, depending on the time of day. And I'll go, give me your phone, and I'll just do the thing, and I'll say, answer if they call. And he's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's yes. So Sandy says the spouse gets tons of benefits. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do get tons of benefits. So that's yeah, that's my favorite part. So you'll find that's interesting. So as for the time, when it used to be mail-in only, or pretty much mail-in, it used to be in person, where you'd go to a store and see a box and you fill out a little form, put it in. Or you'd listen to your local radio station. You'd be, caller 9, caller 25, whatever. Or you had to fill in an entry blank or a 3x5 and mail it in. So on average, they said from when you started to when you won was 3 to 6 months. So you had to be, it used to be patience, persistence, and postage were the P's of winning, the 3 P's of sweepstakes. So it's really changed, obviously, since then. Like I just did 2 on the phone. You can win like right now, something, or not. And you can use your phone. I like to do my social media giveaways downtime. So when George was driving back, besides editing some of the videos from the convention and from my shenanigans, I also was entering a bunch of Instagram giveaways. So you never know. Oh, there you go. Sandy says, I went to the Oasis concert last night. Thanks to our favorite radio station. Great show. And the spouse got the benefit of that. Yeah. So that's the thing. Now I always say it's a cheap night out, not a free night out, because although Sandy went with her husband to the show, they may have bought, first of all, they had to get to the show. So did they take public transit or did they park somewhere? So there's a cost incurred to that. I know they have kids, so they're pairing a babysitter unless grandma's around, but not everybody's lucky enough to have grandma. So there might be a thing. Then of course you might want a bite to eat. And then you might buy a concert shirt, so it's never a completely free, but the chunk of it, the cost of the concert or the show or whatever is free. It's the same with winning a trip, right? Airfare, hotel, maybe a concert somewhere is free. But if you need to tip anybody, if you want to go out to a restaurant, if you want to buy souvenirs, unless they give you spending money, depending on the rules in the giveaway, that might be out of pocket. So keep that in mind when you're entering for those, that you can get the time off work, that you have the budget to cover incidentals or other things like, we had transfers to and from the airport to our hotel as part of a package we won, but we had to get ourselves to the airport. There's a cost for that, or you park your car and pay for the parking. So there's always some costs incurred. So it's not a free trip. It's a cheap trip. It's not a free night out. It's a cheap night out. So just make sure you have the budgets for those things before you're entering. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, we went to see Colin James for Valentine's. I did a whole crazy video on that earlier in the year, and we went to Smashburger for dinner. It was not expensive at all that night out, right? It wasn't expensive at all. So you can do it on a budget, and but just keep that in mind. Let me just see if there's any more questions on Instagram. No more questions are on Instagram. Now, there were a lot of couples at the convention. So some are sweepers and some are just sweeper supporters. But when they're at the convention, they are a sweeper because when you pay to attend, everybody gets tickets and you're in for the draw. So sometimes both parties in the couple would win a prize at the convention. So that was kind of fun to hear one name and then the other name. And, we cheered for everybody. It was quite fun. I hope I answered all the questions. So just to recap, for getting back into the sweep of things at the end of the summer, now that school started for some places, school starting next week for others. First of all, clean up your current list. Like, make it fresh. Go to your locals, enter and get ready for all the new fall giveaways. Some have started this week. Some of the radio stations in my area have got better prizes this week. Some are saying register now. They're announcing next week. So that's one thing you can do. Then go to your favorite sweepstakes aggregate and go through all the single entries to at least get a bunch of entries in if you missed like 4 weeks of giveaways like I did. So get all those one and dones done. Okay. And we'll spell one and done like WON. One and done. I should make that a t-shirt. And I can already picture it. Maybe I'll add that to my merch store. One and done. So you get the one and dones and then start adding in your dailies. And that sounds like a lot. So you don't have to do it all in one day. You can spread it over a week. You can spread it over a couple of weeks. Like, you can slowly get back into it. You don't have to, jump off the deep end right away. You can slowly get into it. So you don't want to come off a vacation and then just overwhelm yourself, because the hobby is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to be overwhelmed. The other statement I'm going to say about waiting to win is you have to remember how long the contests are. Like some are ending August 31st. And so probably within the first 2 weeks of September, they're going to be doing those draws. So anything you entered, say today, that ends next weekend, that will be drawn, you won't hear for like 3 weeks. Some of the ones you're entering, there's one I'm entering, the Pepsi ones, they're drawing every week, but it doesn't end till October 3rd. So the last draw is probably the week after. So mid-October, I might hear from that one at the latest. There's some that I'm entering that don't finish till December. I noticed there's already some running till the end of the year, so I wouldn't hear till January. So again, this is why you need to read the rules, because you could win anytime. Now, you must be checking your notifications and emails every day. Some of them will give you 24, 48, 72 hours to get back to them. You don't get back to them in that amount of time, they go on to the next potential winner. And you're always a potential winner until you fill out the release form or affidavit and get it back to them completed correctly and it's accepted, and then you're an official winner. That is to protect them legally. So it's not a scam when they say, congratulations, you're the potential winner of XYZ. They do that for legal reasons. So just be aware of that if you're new. I don't know what a sweepstakes aggregate is. Well, an aggregate is a site that aggregates all the giveaways into one spot. So if you go to contestqueen.com and click on resources, I know this is also moving to the front of the site. Click on resources and then find sweepstakes. There's a list of contest and sweepstakes aggregates there. And you can go through and pick one you like. Some are like blogs, which is like Sweepstakes Fanatics. Some are like lists, like Sweepstakes Advantage or Sweepstakes Today. You notice a trend. Some are newsletters with additional features, such as community areas, such as Sweep Sheet or I Win contests. Those are actually worth paying for because they have additional features that just a plain old website doesn't have. So I highly recommend investing in your hobby when you're ready. Because the community, they help each other out with things like questions, code words, things like that. That's how I met everybody, right? Because I met them first online, and then I went to the conventions. I discovered the conventions in 2005, and I went to my first one, and I was hooked. That was it. I was hooked. So let me just see if there's any other questions on Instagram. Also, taxes. Yeah, that's an interesting conversation because sweepstakes in Canada aren't taxed. Sweepstakes in the US are taxed as taxable income and as of, I don't have the date right in my head. Is it January 1st? possibly 2026. I'll have to look it up because I was just told about it. I have to write about it. The current limit for a miscellaneous or a Form 1099 miscellaneous is $600. That was based on 1924 income. Yeah, like over 100 years ago, how much you were earning. So imagine a $600 prize. So it was very high compared to income. Now a TV can be over that, and they're issuing a tax form. It's ridiculous. They are raising that to $2,000. So the minimum, you won't get a tax form until a prize reaches $2,000 and up, which is very nice. But everybody's tax situation, income situation is different. Everybody's tax bracket is different. So I'm not an accountant. So I highly recommend that people talk to their own tax specialist to see what the tax implications are. That said, win it first and then worry about it. Right? Like, don't worry about the taxes and something you haven't won yet. Win it and then worry about it. So you can go to my site and find all kinds of free resources, and stay tuned. We're working on a new site. Actually, I got to check in with my web guy to see where we're at on that, because I told him we already have the plan, and I just said, just start changing it. So I think I might be getting a new logo too. I'm kind of excited to see what he has in mind, and maybe a new color scheme. I don't know what he has in mind. I'm just excited because he's very creative. So I'm very excited about that. Oh yes, silly me, Linda. I just named off the American sites. There's Canadian ones too. The Canadian one I use, contestcanada.net, because they send me an email each day, and then I can just go back through the emails and see what I missed. I find it easier for me, based on my crazy schedule, to just have the list emailed to me. Now, the disadvantage of that is I get what was posted the day before, so I miss out on the advantage of first day entries. Just be aware of that. If you're not a member of a site like I Win Contests in the States, and Sweepsheet, because I think Sweepsheet sends out hot flashes, and Tom sends out sweeps blasts or something. I can't remember what he calls them, but it's basically like, enter this right now. Oh, you're in Canada. So in Canada, we only have 3 left. There's contestcanada.net, the contest forum on Red Flag Deals, and Contest Girl. That's it for Canada now. We used to have all kinds of newsletters. I started with Canadian contest newsletter that I had to mail away for. Oh my God, I miss those days. Oh, Urgent. Thank you. He calls them Urgents. I couldn't remember. I thought he had a fancier name than that. I like Sweepsheet. They call them hot flashes. I think they did that because it's been women owned since the beginning. And the ladies have been aging as this, because it's 34 years old, and this is the third. First it was Sandy, and then she sold it to Patty Osterheld, who unfortunately passed away, and then her friend Christy Reckensteiner inherited it, and so now she's running it with her husband. And they actually just moved to Arkansas last year, and they love it. And so they were at the convention too. It was so fun seeing them again. Anyway, that's a wrap for this month. Oh, hello. How about we do all the YouTube things and the Facebooky things? If you like this, subscribe, like, follow, hit the button, hit the bell, do the things. Share this with your friends. If sign up for my newsletter, you get a free, if you're not already subscribed, you get a free little sweepstakes starter kit, which will be rebranded soon, but the information will stay the same because it's brilliant. And I send out a newsletter twice a month and then just some updates. I teach classes in October, only 3 times a year. So October, February, and May are your 3 chances to learn. So go check out the events calendar. A reminder goes out on the last day of every month of what's coming up. I'm working on getting more guests and putting out like 4 books by the end of the year. I don't know what I'm thinking. But I did hire a part-time assistant, and hopefully next year we can go to full-time. So things are speeding up and all the little bugs are coming out because I don't know if you noticed, but today the Tagging Tuesday went out. It's Monday. And I don't know if that was her or me because we're still figuring out. We're using a company called Social Bee, which allows you to create and pre-schedule all your posts, which is supposed to make you more efficient, but the learning curve is horrendous. And I could have taken them down and reposted it tomorrow, but a bunch of people already started sharing. So I said, oh, well, it doesn't matter. There'll be another one next week. So when you see the wonkiness, you know, that's the learning curve of life, right? And all you can do is laugh at it. And the sharing still works. And we're all helping each other win. So that's the important part. And hopefully, like, we have another week left in August. So I'm getting my entries in. And hopefully at the beginning of September, I'm gonna be notified of some big prizes from what I did do this summer. So we'll see. And which means you too have time to get those entries in for the end of the month. Fingers crossed. And if you do win anything big, I love getting emails from people that say, I entered this and I won this big prize. It just makes me so excited to hear that people are winners, because let's face it, there's enough prizes out there for everybody. We can't enter them all, and we might as all have fun. So, and that's what this hobby is all about. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you. Oh, hello, I am the contest queen. Why don't you go enter the giveaway that's listed in the description, because you can win one of my books, any book you want, your choice. And I've started doing vintage book giveaways on Words for Winning, because I do a live stream the next day after this one, usually the last Tuesday of the month, depending on holidays. Again, this one floats too, depending on holidays. I've been collecting vintage metaphysical books, and I'm giving those away at Words for Winning. So head over there, come join me on any Words for Winning live stream, and you can win there too, because, you know, I can't just give away stuff here. I have to give away stuff there too. There's always a chance to win from me. So just